Are generic rounds really worth stacking, or should you just be focusing on the premium stuff like government-backed silver coins? It's one of the most hotly debated topics in the community, and we're going to talk about it, so stay tuned. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. Today is Thanksgiving Day 2022. And I hope you'll have a chance to be with family and enjoy the holiday, and let you eat some turkey. Apparently mine's still not done yet. Back in the oven you go, big guy. Anyway, get in there. So in the spirit of the day, I'd like to wish you all the best and let you know how thankful I am for all the support. Alright, today we're going to talk about generic silver versus silver coins. And before we get too deep into this, let's clarify the major differences between the two. We'll start with silver coins, which you see in front of you. These are typically 3/9 or 4/9 fine purity, and they're produced by government mints. They carry a face value in their country of origin, which means they carry legal tender status. These are money. These are money when it comes down to it. Now, some of the advantages of silver coins. Number one, high liquidity due to being backed by the respective governments. You get a far better return on these than you would with generics when you go to sell them. Number two, they can only be issued by a national government. Number three, they carry a face value in their nation of origin, and they are typically IRA eligible, except for this one, the Krugerrand. I'm not sure why they've excluded it, but typically the Krugerrand isn't allowed to be added to an IRA. Go figure. And number four, the weight and purity of the silver is backed by the respective government. So what are the disadvantages? First and foremost, these are more expensive than generics on a per ounce basis due to the high premiums. In the end, you're going to get less silver for your money. And although that's starting to change a little bit, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Number two, they occasionally go into allocation due to mint delays, which can make them hard to get. It's very frustrating. It can be very frustrating. I know the U.S. Mint had a hell of a time delivering over the past year or so. And number three, just like most other things, they're subject to milk spotting, but you're paying more for them. Certain mints just can't seem to get away from it. All right, next up we've got silver rounds, and these are typically 3/9 fine silver. They come in various weights, and they're also available in fractional sizes, which I don't personally recommend any fractional silver other than constitutional, but hey, that's just my personal preference. There's plenty of stackers out there who love their fractional silver. So what are the advantages of these here? Well, they do offer, first and foremost, lower premiums over spot on physical silver bullion. It's a quick, inexpensive way to add weight to your stack. Number two, a lot of outstanding collectible designs are available. Let's face it, private mints have really stepped up their design game. And you can look at this one here from the Mason Mint. This is the Mythical Lands series or something like that. Mythical Countries, Mythical Lands. I forget what it is. But look at the design on this. Phenomenal. Outstanding design. So yeah, these private mints have come a long way with their generics. Number three, they are typically easier to find when you're looking to buy them. Let's face it, if the mints are running low, you can always find generics. Somewhere somebody is selling generics. And number four, like coins, they can also be IRA eligible, depending on the mint of origin. If it's some hokey-dinky, somewhere in South Texas, unknown mint, I mean, it's probably not going to be IRA eligible. But when you get into your Scottsdales, your Sunshine Minting, even Silvertown, stuff like that, definitely Engelhard, those will qualify for IRAs. So what are the disadvantages of silver rounds? Well, there's a few. Number one, without government backing, their liquidity is far less than coins. So when you go to sell these, you might get just above spot. So you have to be careful about what mint you're buying. The legitimate mints like the Scottsdales, Sunshine Minting, even Silvertown, definitely Engelhard. You shouldn't have too much of a problem with those, but the Engelhards they're vintage, so they're always going to sell for more. But just be mindful of what mint you're buying from. Number two, prices are creeping up to coins. That's true. Some of the generics are passing them, like when they come out with limited edition runs and whatnot. Some generics are actually higher than kangaroos. So they're creeping up to the government-backed stuff. Number three, they're made by private manufacturers. So that can lead to an issue of them truly being 3/9 fine. And this is in comparison to coins, which are guaranteed by the mint to be as such. You're guaranteed to have 3/9, 4/9 fine when you have a government-backed coin. Number 4, they are harder to verify unless you use a Sigma or they have some kind of security feature like Sunshine Minting. I've done this a number of times. I've showed you guys the little mint mark that they have on the back. Very cool. And it's really quick to verify them. Just slap that little lens over it. See if we can see it. You should be able to see it. And you see where it says valid. Kinda. So we know that's a good round. So that's actually verifiable, which is great. And number 5, the quality can be spotty at times. They really can. Rough edges, mint marks, gouges, whatnot, how they're handled at the mint that they're sent from. But they've definitely come a long way. Again, the Odin right here is phenomenal work by the Mason Mint. Just absolutely phenomenal work. And getting to the point of this video, how do you choose between coins and generic rounds? Honestly, I can't tell you that, and nobody else on YouTube should be telling you that either. What you buy depends on your goals and your budget. Some stackers insist on adding only premium government-backed coins, and others refuse to pay the premiums of those coins, and they add mostly generic rounds to increase the weight of their stack on a lower dollar cost average. Honestly, here's where I think most of us will fall, right in the middle. Personally, I have quite a bit of generic silver, but I'm also a stacker of Eagles, Maples, Britannias, and some of the lower stuff like Kangaroos and Phils. I actually like variety with my coins. Now, granted, I cut down on the Eagles more than a year ago. I haven't bought a single one, but I am still actively adding Maples and Britannias. Now, they don't carry the clout of the Eagles, but that doesn't make them any less liquid in their own right. You just won't get as much in return as you would with an Eagle. But then again, you didn't pay as much for them as you did with an Eagle, so it balances out. Now, I know a lot of stackers on YouTube are collecting both, and I honestly think that's the perfect balance to a stack. Have some premium, have some generic weight, maybe throw some collectibles that you really like in there. Just don't go crazy with the collectible stuff unless that's your goal. But in the end, if we go all Venezuela up in here, it could possibly come down to this, where an ounce of silver is just that, an ounce of silver. In the end, nobody on YouTube can tell you how to stack. Again, you know your budget, you know what you want, you know what your goals are. Stick to those parameters, stay within your means, and you'll be fine stacking what you want. Just be sure you buy generic rounds from reputable mints, since counterfeiting runs high for both coins and rounds these days. China's been busy. So pick up your good stuff, the Anglehards, Silvertown, even though they're highly counterfeited. Sunshine Minting, they've got their feature on the back. Scottsdale has even started to add some security features to their rounds. So be sure of what you're buying. All right. So there you have it. Rounds versus coins. An endless debate. I'm sure this one will rage on forever. But there are definitely advantages to both, as I've shown here. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. Now, I will definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime,
what do you want to do with your life?
damn right, get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving and be blessed. I am Arrow of Gravy. Damn it. Peace, people.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes.